state your name, and what do you do for a living?
Shanazia Thompson. I'm a residential instructor at this group home located in Shanazia, Alabama.
Alright, where did you grow up at?
PG County, Maryland.
And okay, so you say you grew up in PG County, Maryland.
Mm-hmm.
What was it like growing up in PG County?
Cold. It was cold, but it was fun. Just got tired of saying the same things growing up, but it was fun.
I mean, like, okay, so for the people that's watching, would you say that it's extremely different from living down here?
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
And if so, how different is it?
It's so different from one, the weather. Like, okay, of course, like every state, they be having all seasons in, 1 month or whatever, but up there it's like really cold. And like when it's spring, that weather we get in the summer, according to a lot of Alabamians, y'all get that in the spring. And then, of course, minimum wage is higher. Like minimum wage is like $13, $14, but down here it's still $7.25. Let me see.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We have a seafood joint on every corner,
mm-hmm.
which is understandable because marine, blue crabs, so yeah. It's more, the food and stuff is more expensive though. Like the cost of living is higher compared to down here, which is cheap.
Okay, so you say you work at the Learning Tree.
Mm-hmm.
No. First of all, let's backtrack. So you graduated from Alabama State in 2020. With your degree in what?
Rehab services with a concentration in addiction studies.
Rehab services with a concentration in addiction studies.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you choose that major?
Because for one, what I want my final degree to be is a doctor of physical therapy, and I feel like rehab and physical therapy go hand in hand. So that started my foundation of my career.
Okay. Doesn't it have something to do with helping people though?
Plus, I do like to help people. Like, I know as someone who grew up with a disability, I didn't really have that big of a influence or support system, whatever you want to call it. So if I can get the training that I need to be there for someone else, shit, why not?
Okay, alright, so now you work at the Learning Tree.
Mm-hmm. The Learning Tree Incorporated.
Yeah, Learning Tree Incorporated in Shanazia, Alabama.
Yeah.
And for a lot of y'all out there who don't know what Shanazia, Alabama is, just know it's somewhat of a small town that's 30 minutes north of Montgomery, Alabama. So yeah, that's what she work at. But why Learning Tree? Like what landed you there?
Because a lot of the kids, without saying too much and breaking HIPAA laws, a lot of the kids that are at the Learning Tree, because it's a group home and a school, so some of the kids, they live there and they go to school there, so a lot of them, like, they have autism, or they're nonverbal, or they have behavior issues and stuff of that nature. Like, a lot of the kids represent me when I was their age. So if I can go back in time to my younger self and tell her, don't do this, don't do that, I definitely would. And if I could stop somebody else from making the same choices, then put me in that position and I'll take it.
Okay, and let's kind of backtrack again. You have a condition that's called epilepsy,
mm-hmm.
and it's basically a condition that involves the brain, and you're basically prone to seizures and whatnot.
Yes.
So, how easy or how difficult it was dealing with that condition, growing up in as far as like now.
Growing up, none of my siblings had it. My brother, he didn't have his first seizure and get diagnosed till he was an adult. So he already kind of had his stuff figured out. But for me, none of my other siblings had it, so they were doing certain things that I couldn't do, like riding bikes without helmets and showering by themselves and not missing all these days of school because of trial medications and stuff like that. So it was pretty hard, and now that I'm grown, it hasn't got really any easier. It's easier to control because my emotions, they're more under control than from when I was 5 years old, going through puberty and all that stuff, to now I'm 24. So it hasn't got that much easier than back then. But now it's kind of hard to keep friendships, keep relationships, and do regular things that a 24-year-old does. Like, I've lost friends and relationships behind, oh, well, if we go out, Shanazia going to need a ride, so who's going to pick Shanazia up? And then it just got to the point where, well, let's not invite her if she can't drive herself, or I don't want to be with her if she can't drive herself. So it hasn't, if anything, I think it's gotten harder.
So here's my take on that. I mean, like, of course, people are within their rights and not want to deal with you or whatnot. But it's like, I also feel like that people should also show some type of sympathy and have some type of heart, because, you know, I'm pretty sure you've dealt with people that didn't have way worse conditions than you.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes. Hell yeah.
So
and against the law, if it wasn't against the law, I'd say it on camera.
Still chose to put up with it, right?
Whether it was friends or relationship wise.
Right. Yeah. I guess that's the tough part about having a condition that is 100% out of your control.
Definitely.
But yeah, that's kind of tough. So let's travel back in time to 2018, and your dad was basically, he was ready to check up out of here. So, talk about that time period for you.
It was rough, because I was in denial about it. I knew what was going on. My mom somewhat tried to hide it, but it was hard for her to hide it because I was a CNA at one point in time, so it wouldn't have been my first time dealing with someone, not a patient, because that's my dad, but dealing with someone who's dying. And like, I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person who has that thought of they have someone in their life who they think is gonna live forever, or, oh, they're not dying no time, so they had plenty of time. And it's like, it was really difficult to deal with, because I didn't expect to be losing a parent so soon. I was only 20 when he died. I haven't even had my 21st birthday yet.
Okay, so you have this business coming up, this business venture coming up.
Trying to.
That's called what?
Well, I have a non-profit org.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah, you have a non-profit organization called what? Heaven's
Heart, which is actually inspired by my dad. My dad was an ex-military man, so and he was always giving, and he just had this big heart. Like, if you needed the shirt off his back, he would give it to you with no issue, as long as you can fit. Even if you couldn't fit, he would give it to you. So I figured, since I like doing, my little community service projects here and there, why not start the organization in name and favor of him? So basically, Heaven's Heart organization is where we basically cater to minorities and homeless and college students, which in Alabama, considering the fact that we're surrounded by a lot of HBCUs, that's really the majority of who I serve, minorities. So we'll put together care packages, especially during like midterm finals time. I just recently did care packages for 2 girls. One girl, her house had caught fire and everything. I'm waiting for her to come pick her stuff up. But we'll pass out care packages. I'll take them in the store, or either I'll send them a cash app and say, okay, I'll cash app you the money, and me and my fiance will just take y'all to the store and pick up whatever y'all need with that money. Or I'll just pay for it. This is my second time doing it. And yeah, we may collect canned goods or like toothbrushes, gently used clothes and stuff like that, and drop it off at the local thrift shops or the Salvation Army over there on Maxwell.
Okay, so you're in grad school right now.
Mm-hmm.
You're at South University in Montgomery, Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your major?
Physical therapist assistant.
Okay, what are you planning to do with that degree?
I want to go work in someone's healthcare facility. I don't care if it's professional or if it's collegiate. I just want to put it to use. Or whether it's at home, doesn't really matter.
Okay, so what advice would you give to anyone that has epilepsy or or anyone that has any type of condition that's out of their control, like of course epilepsy, of course you got autism, Down syndrome, things like that. Well, what advice would you give to those people?
Fuck with anybody telling you about what you can and can't do. Now, don't get me wrong. Consider the fact that you may have a medical condition where certain things you really just cannot do, or you have to do certain things with limitations. But if it's something that's getting a degree or getting your high school diploma, someone telling you can't, fuck them. I'm working on degree number 2.
Yeah, you definitely find out.
And they told me, I had teachers, people in my family, we got the same blood, tell me I'm not going to make it, I'm not going to amount to nothing, I'm stupid, I'm slow. People who claim they love me, they my best friends, have done called me slow and told me I wouldn't be able to do shit and stuff like that. So fuck what they talking about. Do what you got to do. If it's something that you really want to do and you got your mind set to, go out and do it. And of course you want to have the people when you finally do make it, oh, I'm so proud of you, you're going to make it. Just say thank you and move along. Because that's what I've been doing all these 13, 14 years I've been in school.
I don't know, I guess maybe I'm just on the outside looking in, because I really just can't imagine like going through what you went through like in the past. I mean, before we met, like you've been bullied by your exes, you've been bullied by people you went to school, you've been bullied by teachers, been bullied by your family. Like I just can't fathom that at all. Like,
yeah, it still doesn't sit right with me most days. You eventually learn to get over it. The older you get, no matter who the hurt came from.
But hey, I mean, proud of you. Continue doing what you're doing, and continue to prove everybody wrong, because you know it's only up from here. So yeah, we want to give a shout out to. SO to God. That's about it. Want to give a shout out to Shanazia TV?
Oh yeah, SO Shanazia TV too. Like, follow, subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe to the channel, y'all. Like the video. Comment on what y'all think about this video, and drop your social media for all the folks out there too. Drop all your social media.
My Twitter. What is my Twitter? What is my Twitter? My Instagram is Shanazia with 2 underscores, Shanazia with 3 A's. My Snapchat is kid.nay with 2 Y's. My Instagram, my Twitter is, I believe, Shanazia. I believe one underscore Shanazia with 2 A's. I think. I hope. Just type it in, it'll come up.
Facebook, Snapchat.
Oh, my Facebook is Shanazia Antoinette. SHANAZIA ANTIONETTE. I said my Snapchat already.
Oh yeah. And talk about the YouTube channel that me and you got together, Eminent TV.
Oh yes, we have a YouTube channel, Eminent TV. Y'all follow that. We have a video coming soon. I don't know how soon.
Yeah.
But we do have a video coming soon. We do have a surprise for y'all as well. That will be coming soon in a couple of months. I'm not pregnant.
No, it's definitely not that, y'all.
But yeah, the surprise. Oh, am I pregnant? Just kidding.
Yeah. Like make sure y'all subscribe to the channel MNN TV. It'll be in the description down below in this video. And and of course subscribe to Shanazia TV. And Shanazia, I appreciate you for taking the time out for me to interview you. And peace.